What really pisses me off, excuse my French, is the way they're trying to portray livestock as, the demise of climate. And I'll tell you, I take my sheep up onto the heft every morning, and I'll stand there taking these sheep, which are supposedly causing a climate catastrophe, when I'm watching 40 planes, 50 planes, 60 planes an hour flying over me, and you tell me my sheep and cows are to blame. We've got solar farms going up everywhere, taking productive land. Let's not take land that's productive out of the equation, because we're losing enough land to, new housing, building, and then you're talking about planting these massive areas up in Scotland of trees, which are they going to benefit anybody? Unless you're a beaver and you're going to eat bark, I think you're going to be bloody hungry very soon. The only people that are destroying our countryside are government policies, because they're not listening to people that are on the coalface, the people that are working the land, the people that they've got their hands in the ground producing the food. They're not listening to them, globally. And that is a major problem. That is a major problem.
Where is this all headed? What's going to happen?
We're sleepwalking into food shortages. It's not going to be long. You're talking to the people on the ground. People are cutting down on their animals. People are, pulling out. There's less crops going in. There's more land being taken out for all different scenarios. So, these governments are going to starve people. They're going to make people hungry. And what will they do then? They'll have to look for somewhere else to get their food.
Everyone can feel it right now. Quality food has seemingly disappeared. Why is this happening? Is it they just want mass-produced, processed, factory-farmed food?
They want to bring food into factories. They want to produce gloop, rubbish to feed people. That then makes them ill. We've got a massive diabetes problem, obesity problem. All this is to do with what these children are eating. These processed foods are killing us. They're killing our children and the next generation.
Is this future that you're talking about, is it inevitable, or is there another way that we could live?
My great-grandfather would have gone round the village with a little milk float, selling milk. He had 10 cows up here, milking by hand, and growing a field of potatoes, and he'd be selling them potatoes and swedes and carrots. There was a lot more people that were dependent on the farmer, but understood the importance of the farmer.
Farming is a slow business, but it never stops. Today one can still hear the sound of the scythe and watch the beautiful rhythm of its swing.
Now it seems to be like, oh yeah, I can walk into a supermarket in January and buy my strawberries, which taste of nothing. When you taste my first strawberries in the next couple of weeks, they're just truly orgasmic food. It's just mind-blowing when you get this kind of food onto your plate. And the nutrient density of that food is tenfold to what you're buying in that supermarket. So if you think of it, by paying that extra, by following a farmer, by finding a farmer, by giving that money directly to that farmer, you're taking out the middleman, which are the supermarkets and the multinational corporations, which are taking all the money from local areas and sticking it in hedge funds out in Barbados, while they're sipping on a sun lounger, drinking their pina coladas, as everybody else goes hungry and poorer.
So if the government continue treating farmers like this, what are we going to do? What are you guys going to do?
It's heartbreaking. You could be looking at the last generation farming here. You could be looking at the last generation after 375 years. That mountain behind me is a Celtic hill fort. That was where the Celts lived, okay? And just underneath there is a field called Caegraig. 6,000 years ago, people were working in that field and making axe heads from this granite here. 6,000 years ago, people were working this land. So, things have come to a whole circle, in my opinion, where they're trying to take out the most important person on God's earth. And that's not bigging us up. But without a farmer, you will not have food. Because you take these people out of that equation and you lose that generation, you won't find it again. I'm telling you. Wake up and smell the coffee before the coffee, the meat and the wheat is all gone.